All right. Hey guys, Super the Rage here. Hope you're having a fantastic day, and welcome to a video that's a little bit different than what I usually do. So this one was kind of sprung on me this morning. I woke up, checked my email, and this happened to be in there. Well, not this page, but a link to this page and a link to some of the promotional material for a game called Outbreak Island. And I was checking in on it, and because I'm thinking, okay, is this some scam thing? Is this am I on some like email list? Like they found my email and they're just like spamming this out to everybody. But then I checked, and the actual developer, or rather, not the developer, but the publisher for this game is. Let me actually, I don't know why I closed the main page. It has the developer's name on it. So it's being developed by Tiny Magicians, and they'll go over this in the video. They have a devlog. It's brand new. Their YouTube channel just started a couple days ago, so this is like starting to be their big marketing push and starting to get people interested in their product. And so, from what I've seen, they only worked on one game released last year called Watch Your Ride, right? Bicycle game. And it's pretty competent, as you can tell. They've clearly got an understanding of games and physics and textures and all the stuff you would like to see in a developer. Is they have the basics, they have the foundational stuff, and where they go from here is really interesting. This seems more like a prove yourself type thing. And it's like, hey, we're fans of something like what is the game? The one with the dirt bikes, but it's like a side profile one. I always forget. I know I played one similar to it that was like on free online games back in the day, like way back. But you could tell that they took inspirations from other cycling games, and they just thought, hey, we'll make a fun little thing, test it out, get our feet wet with the company, and that's cool. I like that. I like when a developer doesn't try to like hit a home run out the gate, and they just kind of practice first. But that's Tiny Magicians. So I looked at Tiny Magicians and I'm like, who? But the email actually came from Hypertrain Digital. Now, anyone who's been around my channel might remember Hypertrain Digital from my Breath Edge streams. Hypertrain Digital are the publishers, right? Now, I don't know if they were specifically behind it because I don't think I have the email anymore. I think I might have just deleted it or let it like auto delete itself or whatever. But the thing with this is that they made Breath Edge. They've done Stone Shard, The Wild Eight. They published a lot of things. Police Stories, I know, is a popular one. Again, all of this I have not played except for Breath Edge, and I love Breath Edge. So basically, anything that Hypertrain Digital wants to back, I'm pretty much in favor of because I hear lots of good things from their other games, even though I haven't played them. And the one game I have played that was published by them was Breath Edge, which was a hilarious, fun, space crafty survival thing. And I need to play more of it. I never completed it. But oh my god, this was last year. Excuse me? I was given a copy of this last year? Oh, sorry. I just got hit with the whole time stick thing of the whole plague. The plague fucked up my sense of time. It's yikes. I cannot believe it's only been like a year. Not even a year and a half. It's been like a year and some change. Wow, okay. Anyway, but yeah, Breath Edge, you guys might remember this game if you've been around the channel. I did stream this a bit and I did play this a bit and I really loved it. And so when I learned like, oh wait, it's the same guys, and this is made by Red Ruin Software, so this is like their one thing they've worked on. They worked on it hard, so props to those guys. But when I looked and I saw like, oh, Hypertrend Digital, those guys published Breath Edge, so obviously they have an eye for games. And I then looked at this, and they have this devlog and everything. So I figured I'd do a video, I'd talk about them, because the email said, hey, can you please share this out and whatever. So I assume what happened was the guys from Red Ruin probably, gave me my copy of Breath Edge. They wanted me to share it out. And that seems to maybe be their strategy is give out a lot of this information and give out a lot of these copies to people to sort of spread the word and then be like, oh, yeah, this guy can stream it and get it out to people. And I like crafting games and I like horror games, and so when you combine the two, I'm a very happy camper. So, which seems to be what this is. It's almost like it feels almost uh like Stalker or one of those like post nuclear games, right? Out in the wilderness, weird mystery things going on, but also mixed with like creepy aspects of like the forest. It's like the forest or mixed with like P not PT. What's the other one? Not Oh, what is it? Outlast, right? I remember playing Outlast back in the day. Those streams are horrible, by the way. Don't go back and look at them. Don't go back and look at those videos because my microphone was shit in those days. I had a terrible recording setup. But yeah, no. So we're gonna check this out, and we're gonna watch the video real quick, go through it, and then we have the text version, so we can go through the notes at our own leisure, which is fantastic. So first up is the Outbreak Island devlog. This is, Outbreak Island. The game has their own YouTube channel. They're promoting it, whatever. So yeah, let's go ahead and just check this out.
Hello everyone, we are Tiny Magician Studio, and this is a devlog about our upcoming game, Outbreak Island.
Okay, yeah.
Today we're
As
going
I
to
said.
talk about what makes our game unique compared to other survival sims, show some basic gameplay,
good.
and talk about the creation and
See, and that was the part where I got really interested because anybody can put out like, oh, this cool cinematic trailer and aren't you excited type stuff. And I hate that in the gaming sphere. It's like if you've actually been doing the work, you should have some sort of vertical slice and be able to talk about the mechanics and give me a reason why I should be interested. Because game survival crafting horror games are a dime a dozen on Steam, right? They always come out in early access and whatever, blah 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 blah. So when he said like, "Hey, we're gonna show you why it's different," like that's what got me interested. So let's see if it's actually different. Let's see what about it makes it interesting and why we should care.
development of the dynamic open world in Outbreak Island.
Okay, dynamic open
In
world.
the
He's
game,
throwing out all the
you will have to
buzzwords.
survive as a detective,
Okay.
hunting and farming are
Word.
at your service for saving your own life.
Okay, so very much like
And
the
don't
forest.
forget about the sleep. There is a tent for this purpose in the game.
Interesting.
The campfire is not just a source of light, but also a tool for cooking. You can also
Makes
pass
sense.
the time on this scary island quite comfortably around the campfire. By the way, the nights in Outbreak Island are very beautiful, but dangerous.
So it
and
feels
a couple
very-
of bullets are obviously not enough to survive.
Okay, so it feels very motivated by something like the forest, right? I'm getting a lot of forest vibes from it. You're on an island, wilderness, building, right? You got to survive the night.
them. This
Okay.
is the point at which Outbreak Island deviates from other survival
Okay,
sims.
how so?
One of the detective's main survival tools is his camera.
Interesting.
You can use flash to blind the mysterious transformed and escape.
Okay.
Plus, a tripod will help you remotely observe what's going on and even hunt.
Okay,
The
that's really
in-game
interesting.
Island is not only about nature, but also an abandoned city, factories, farms, and military bases. Exploring these places is not an easy task.
Okay. What I really like here is that this is actually in-game stuff.
Explore-
So anyone who's used Unreal will know what that is. Like this is a little icon in Unreal that like, because a lot of these they'll pre-render it or they'll like it won't be quite ready yet. But this is all in engine because that little icon there tells you that it's in engine. That's pretty
Exploring
cool.
these places is not an easy task, as useful items are sometimes hidden in unexpected places. The weather in Outbreak Island is constantly changing.
The frame rate not so
If you
great.
go
They
from
they
calm,
probably haven't
clear
gotten the
day
optimization
to a
yet,
wild
but
storm.
it does look
Don't forget
great.
to find shelter. And by the way, check out how the sound changes if you go indoors.
Cool. Yeah, I love how he's like, check out the sound. Because again, that's another thing that I love in games is like, oh, this is cool. That's something I really loved about Halo Infinite. Was like the sound design of the guns, because if you're firing out in the open, it makes a certain noise. But if you're inside of a tunnel or an enclosed space in Halo Infinite's multiplayer and you're firing a gun, it'll actually reverberate off the walls and you can hear it. And it's like, wow, that's kind of cool that, two different things.
We're also happy to tell you that in Outbreak Island, you can travel not only on foot, but also by car.
Bless.
If we're talking about the island as a whole, it's really big and varied in the game.
Right.
Mountains, forests, hills, glades, and caves. We pay great attention
Ooh,
to
look at
visuals
that.
everywhere, not
Wow.
only natural, but also man-made. Buildings and
That's
roads look as if they
cool.
were
So this is like an earlier build over here, obviously, just to block out the scene and get it, like, hey, this is the general idea. Then they went with the full, like, overgrown Last of Us look, and that's really awesome.
inhabited by people once.
Like, yeah, these are blockout walls. This is where a building will eventually go when the modeler is done with it. When the environment artist, that would be me, Because a lot of the places I'm a prop guy, technically a building's a prop in a way. So prop and environments is my title. I mainly like props, but environments is also something I do. So this is very familiar to me of having these sort of blocked out, measured one. These checkers are to measure the length of it, right? So that you place it in the scene, it looks good. You take that exact scaled object, you send it to your modeler, and you say, okay, here's your constraints. It needs to be this long by this long, but do whatever you want with the surface of it. And obviously, you follow the concept art. But this is really cool. I love seeing this. This is something I've never seen any other game do. And I'm sure other games have, but this is the first time I have seen a game that's coming out that's marketing itself as brand new and different and unique in the whole survival crafting genre. And they're like, yeah, check this out. We've got, this is how we built the game out, right? And then this is how we changed it. It's showing the process, and I always respect artists for doing that. It's a big thing for me. I like that because it sees where the vision is supposed to go.
If you liked what you saw, don't forget to add Outbreak Island to your wishlist on Steam. We'll have more news on the game's release and development progress soon. Thanks.
Fantastic.
And see you around.
All right, cool. So already, guys, looks amazing. Cool. I won't be adding it just yet because we're gonna go over it. I'm not just gonna immediately run and do it, right? And then there's also this, by the way. So this is the actual game, but then they have a free version of the game coming out, which is coming out soon, whereas the game is still to be announced. So they're still working on the main game, but what I was saying about the vertical slice, it feels like they're creating a vertical slice that's playable that will make for a good demo, and they're going to put that one out for free. I don't know if that's what they're doing with it exactly. I don't know how much of that game is going to be there because it's called Pendulum. So I assume it's probably like a specific part of the game. Maybe halfway through the game, you have a little loot. You can play with a couple mechanics. Maybe I don't know. We'll see. But yeah, this is looking pretty cool, pretty interesting. So as for the game itself, let's go over the devlog here. So this is all in the text version. This is basically everything that was said in the video is said here. It's all just transcribed, basically. You pass the time and scare around quite comfortably with the campfire, right? Yeah, nights in Outbreak are very beautiful but dangerous. So here's your car. You got your little tent, right? There's some windmills. What's that about, What could you find there? What kind of loot might be available there? That's interesting. So you have the tripod to remotely observe what's going on, hunt. So that's a pretty interesting concept. Again, I haven't seen the camera used this much in a survival crafting game before. Usually it's just you get a stick and you beat ass with the stick, and then you upgrade later, and then you get guns and stuff. That's basically it. But this is pretty interesting. This is looking great. I love this image. Let's look at this image a little deeper. Wow, this is a pretty good image. Now you can see the high to low bake is kind of again, haven't quite optimized yet, but it makes for good enough here. But yeah, no, I like this setup. It's pretty cool. I like the camera thing, like I said. Because when you get a camera in a game like this, usually it's like a horror thing, like with Outlast, where you needed the camera for like night vision or whatever, and it's supposed to be a tension thing, right? It's supposed to be a scary thing. But here it's like, yeah, he actually uses it as a weapon, and he uses the flash on the camera. Now the question is, are you going to have to manage batteries? Are you going to have to manage... Because I remember that being a pain in the ass when I played Outlast, and I think there was an option where you could play Outlast without having to find batteries. It was like a rechargeable battery or something. But as long as I have like a rechargeable battery, I'm fine with it. Or as long as it's like not like, oh yeah, your batteries ran out, change them again. Your batteries ran out, change them again. Because that just kind of leads to artificial tension, right? I don't like the idea of like, oh, without the battery on, oh no, you want to have your camera, like yeah, change the battery, whatever. It becomes a repetitive task at that point, and it loses its flair as an interesting mechanic. But I think this is really interesting, the idea of like flashbanging these guys with a camera flash and using that to stun them and fight them off. I'm also really interested what this green goo thing here is. It's like a Aurora Borealis, but it's fully vertical pillar, and it's green. So that's probably like some like center of the island that's really dangerous that you have to get to in the late game, and that's probably your main task is find out whatever the hell that thing is. And again, it's a big mystery, so that's cool. So we got some gifts here we can look at. So it's raining, got lightning. That's a cool lightning strike. I haven't seen games actually do like big lightning strikes like that before. It flashes the whole area, like it lights up the whole world. That's cool. Yeah, this is the part that really got me interested. If you guys could tell at the end of the video, I was so fucking yes. Because the problem with all these goddamn survival games is like, oh yeah, run here, run there, run here, run there. It's like, fuck off, let me have a vehicle. And so it's like, yeah, we're making a big map, we're gonna give you a car. Fair enough, you know. That's really good. Yeah, we're talking about a whole island. We've got mountains and forests and hills and glades and caves. Attention to the visuals, right, which we saw. So that's pretty cool. So we're talking about the island as a whole. It's really big. Yeah, it is big. Yeah, as you know, we know. So we can add the free Outbreak Island Pendulum Prologue. So this will be, yeah, which will be very soon. So I assume that's going to be. I mean, obviously I'll do a video on that or a stream, checking that out because it's free, and I want to promote the game and I want to talk about the game. Because this publisher has been good to me, so I owe it to them to, they gave me a copy of Breath Edge, let me play it. I need to go back and finish it. But the little bit I saw from them, it's like, oh, they backed a good game. They're probably backing a good game here as well, because this is another. When you look at Outbreak, right? If we look at Outbreak Island on Steam, yeah. So if we look at Outbreak Island on Steam, because we like the publisher has got a couple under their belt, but they have 32 games. Holy shit. Well, they have 32 products. 17 of them are games. Other ones are DLC. But yeah, we're gonna click that off. So if we look at this, we actually have something free to play called, yeah. So I'm gonna look at a couple of these other ones, just get an idea for it. So we have, I'm looking at the free ones mainly. Oh, that's a cool looking one. So then there's, yeah, these are all new releases. I want to see all of the games. Can I see all of them? I want to see all of their games. I might just go on my Steam. I think I'll do that. I think I'll just go on my Steam and go there. Oop, that's my library. Wrong button. I wanted the store. Okay. But yeah, we'll look at that like on Steam properly. Just because it's kind of interesting to see their catalog expanding into that, and it doesn't seem like they've got. It would seem like Breath Edge was their first foray into publishing survival crafting games. Can I please get Steam to go to the store? Oh my god, what's this laggy thing of like Steam having to load the store and the whatever? I don't know. Oh, there's a Steam VR Fest. Hold on, I'm interested. What is this? Celebrating the immersive world of virtual reality discounts, demos, upcoming releases. Ooh. Nice. VR stuff is on sale, guys. Go buy VR stuff. It's great. Love VR stuff. Yeah, I have Hard Bullet on my wish list. Also Half-Life Alyx and all that. Yeah. Have Pavlov. Pavlov's fantastic. Guys, it's $5. Go buy it. Even if you don't have a headset yet, future-proof yourself. Go pick this up for $5. Pavlov's amazing. Anyway, not to get too distracted. But let's see. If we look for Outbreak Island. All right, so we have the free one. I'll probably just add that to my list, just so it reminds me when that happens. And then I think I'll add the main game to the list. Just because. I'll keep up with it. I'll let you guys know if it's cool or not. Stone Shard's actually already on my list, because again, so this is another crafting one from them, but it's more of a top-down little. I don't know how you would describe this art style, but it's like isometric pixel art type crafting, exploration, medieval theme, which I like. I like the idea of it, But let's see if we want to view all of their stuff. Oh, I don't want lists. I want browse. I want the full list of their stuff. That's what I want. So Breath Edge was their big foray, right? So we're talking one-to-one representations. This is sort of similar, not in the same tone of the mystery and it has the mystery stuff, but it doesn't exactly have the horror stuff, right? Breath Edge is a comedy, which is fan-fucking-tastic. Let's see. Stone Shard, right? Another technically survival, but it seems to be more like combat, pixel art type thing. Okay, cool. Such art? I don't know what such art is. That's kind of cool. It's like a making art simulator type thing. Police Stories, right? So this one's a top-down, little shoot 'em up type thing, similar to Hotline Miami in a way. Then we have the Wild 8, which is, I think, technically another survival-ish game which is again mysteries and survival. So clearly they have a history of doing all that. I don't want to see all reviews. I just want to see all of your games. Why the fuck is it so hard to see all of the games of a publisher? I want to browse. I want to see all of the games. Show me all of the things. Like, this shit is bullshit. It just stops. Like, Steam, what the fuck, man? Why am I seeing just new releases? There's upcoming discounts. Oh, they actually have Police Stories The Academy. That's cool. There's recent reviews. No, I don't want top sellers. I don't want really. Anyway, whatever. Okay, so it would seem they have 11 games under their belt so far for publishing, right? Why are you showing me DLC? I don't want to see DLC. I clicked on game, not DLC. Fuck off. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. They have 11 bestsellers, and then for new releases, they're probably having, like, more stuff for DLCs and such is coming out. I don't know. But we have Such Art, which is like an art simulator. We have Black Book, which looks a little bit like Banner Saga, actually. Yeah, this is almost like a 3D version of Banner Saga from the vibe I'm getting from it. But it's also got crafting, inventory stuff, right? You pick up some stuff. You've got these. Oh, this is so Banner Saga. I've seen this in Banner Saga before. So that's pretty cool. That's pretty interesting. We then have, I don't want new release. I want fucking piece of shit. Breath Edge, right? Survival game, Stoneyard survival. Police Stories, little top-down action shooter. Mego, which seems to be some sort of platformer in the vein of a Mega Man type game, right? Golden Light, which seems to be a Doom clone, maybe. Eat Weapons. I'm already interested. That's fan-fucking-tastic. What the hell is that? Kill Meat Bros, take their keys, your rewards in the elevator. Oh, it's disgusting, and I love it. I don't know, there's something visceral about it. It's so... Oh my god, so weirdly visceral and old school, yet new and avant-garde in the art style. It's so creepy. The weapon sway. I love the way the weapon has this exaggerated sway to it. That's kind of cool. Yeah, it's a survival horror FPS prop hunt roguelite about meat. Alright, sure. Deathmatch and battle royale shit. Alright, cool. So they're not afraid to try new things, which is really cool. I like to see. Let's see. I'm trying to make sure I'm on the right list here. But it's pretty cool to see them branching out. They're not afraid to try different things. Here's another top-down shooter, right? Which has got its own art style to it. Tunch? What is Tunch? Charming hand-drawn action game with... Is that the Hat in Time chick? I swear that's... Yeah, that's the Hat in Time person. What? Why is the Hat in Time person in this thing they made? Why is Hat in Time here? Okay. I'm confused. Why is Hat in Time here? Yeah, Hat Kid solves deforestation in the jungle to acquire a timepiece. In this game, you can throw a girl armed with only an umbrella into a forest full of bloodthirsty entities that will attempt to kill. Being serious, though, from what I played, this seems to be a roguelike game in the whatever genre Streets of Rage is. Oh, that actually hurts my soul that someone doesn't know what a beat 'em up is. Yeah, so this seems to be like a beat 'em up. So that's kind of cool. Let's see. I'm just kind of going over the list now, to just kind of check out the way they view themselves in their games. So Tunch, so they got a little bit of everything, it would seem. It's Barrier X, so Desolate. Desolate seems to be more akin to what we're gonna get in that. This was by a different developer though. So yeah, this is again like the forest. You're crafting stuff. You're exploring a big mystery horror type thing, right? Weird little warbles and so on. We have mixed reviews on this one, so it doesn't look like it was that good. They removed the early access tag, sold this walking simulator unfinished state. Okay, so this one might be a little unfinished. But this was back in like 2019, and Hypertrain only published it. I feel like the gameplay would be the responsibility of Niraga, which is or Nirga, Yeah, near GA. I don't know. I don't know how you say that, but whatever. They seem to have done their own thing with it. But yeah, no, it's they certainly like not all of their things are going to be great. As with any publisher, like not everything you greenlight is going to be amazing, right? Netflix has some great shows, but most of them are garbage. Most are garbage. Some of them are really great though. So it's like you just take the other stuff with a grain of salt and don't really look at it. That one's mixed. This one's very positive. This one's very positive. We got very positive, very positive, very positive, very positive. Mostly positive on Stone Shard, right? Breath Edge, very positive, fantastic game. I can personally recommend it. It's fantastic. Black Book looks really cool. I was into the Banner Saga, so I might pick this up at some point. Actually, I need to get the rest of Banner Saga. I only played the first one, but I do like that kind of art style. And then overwhelmingly positive for Such Art Genius Artist Simulator. So that's pretty fucking cool. So yeah, as you guys can tell, they're not averse to like any particular genre. It seems Hypertrain Digital will publish basically anything that makes any sense. There's also Tower Princess. This is a new one, and it's a yeah Tower Princess Knight's Trial, and this would seem to be a free to play game actually. Charming 3D roguelike platform about a normal day in the life of Knight, Tower Princess, Knight's Trial, free-to-play version of Tower Princess. Okay, so that's why it's Knight's Trial, because it's getting you into the game. So this is kind of cool. It's like your 3D platformer, really interesting art style. And I'm glad to see like 3D platformer like beat 'em ups like this because I miss like the old school, run around, smack the thing, Ratchet and Clank, Spyro, that kind of stuff. I do miss those genres. I think it's really cool that there's still people making it. And again, it seems that Hypertrain has like they seem to be a general publisher for several different indie devs that want to make their own stuff, which is really cool. I mean, they have Void Train coming up. That's been on my list for a while, right? So obviously, I'm kind of a fan of Hypertrain Digital without even knowing I'm a fan. But the thing is, all of these are by like different guys, right? Like this one is personally by Hypertrain though. So this is their actual foray into development. And as you can see, it's pretty solid. Like it looks pretty solid. The gameplay, from what I've seen, is actually really interesting for this. You got your crafting and elements and everything, but it's kind of like Raft. It's like on rails. You move from point to point. You float around in space rather and you're tethered to your ship rather than like go out and get things. You're extending your tether so you can go do things. There's enemies to fight and stuff, and it looks really fucking cool, right? So this is what gives me faith in Hypertrain Digital when it comes to things of the survival crafting genre, or the horror genre, or whatever. Because it seems like even though they seem to have sort of a scatter shot approach to publishing where they'll just find anybody that's got even an inkling of an original idea and just do the thing. I mean, look at this. There is no light. Like this looks pretty cool. I'm not big on the whole like, you know, platformer slasher thing myself, but it does look really fucking cool and unique, doesn't it? Like I can't think of any game that I played or that I even know of that comes close to looking like this or feeling like this. And that's not to say there's not obviously other things in the genre of action adventure RPG, right? As they describe it here, but it does feel original. It feels like it's not just like, oh yeah, I wanted to do this game like the whole Metroidvania craze, right? Like a lot of people will do Metroidvanias, um, but most of the time it's just I have an art style and I want to slap it over. But in something like There's No Light, it looks like someone had a vision, right? That's the difference that to me that presents itself, you know. So yeah, I'm interested in the Hypertrain Digital stuff, and I can't wait to see what properly comes out from them, and like what exactly is upcoming. So we know Outbreak's upcoming. That's on the list, right? We got Police Stories, and they seem to do a lot of demos too. A couple of these have a lot of like free versions of it, so you can play it, you can try it for yourself, and then if you like the mechanics of it, you can then go on and get the full game, which I fully applaud. Any developer or publisher that does that, you have my everlasting respect. I think it should be law, like international, federal, whatever the fuck. Like everybody on the planet has to follow this, no matter where you are. Every company's got to figure out a way to show you it. Maybe not the game itself, but at least the core mechanics of it and like a slice of it. Like the Surge, right? I only got into the Surge because I wanted to try um a that third person. I was like, okay, the aesthetic's great. I love the cyberpunk, I love the bright colors, cool. But I was never big on the whole like Dark Souls thing. The whole like Souls like type thing of like you die, you gotta get your shit back type stuff. Not, I was never really a big fan. But they put out the opening hour, right? And so I played through the opening hour and I was immediately hooked. I was like, oh, I get it. I like all these mechanics, and this is the stuff I'll do for the next 20 hours in the game. I'm here for that. I love that. Let's do that, right? And it helped that it had a pretty interesting little like mystery to it of what's going on and what's with these nanites and all this crap. It's pretty cool, you know. And again, Breath Edge was something I tracked for a while because I like crafting, I like sci-fi stuff, I like bright colors. Cool. Here's a game that hits all of those buttons for me, and it's a comedy on top of that, so it's very Monty Python type stuff. Yeah, you know, Void Train, right? I like Raft, right? Why do I like Raft? It's a spin on the survival genre. They're innovating, right? And I think Hypertrain Digital is going to keep innovating into the future. And not all their stuff's going to work out. Some of it, you know, they might stumble along the way. But it seems like a lot of these games that I'm familiar with are coming from Hypertrain Digital's publishing, right? Maybe not from them themselves, but we can expect to see more from those indie studios as they work with Hypertrain and get their games out and get them to the public, because clearly they've had good reception with things like Police Story, Stone Shard, Breath Edge, Wild 8. Like some of these I haven't even played, and I fully know what they are just from seeing them around the gaming space. So clearly they're doing something right. Anyway, I've probably take this video to be way too long, but it was kind of an interesting dive into it, and you know, we got that going on. So yeah. By the way, I'm not my second monitor is out of commission for the moment. Nothing broke or anything. It's just I don't have the adapter on me right now. I had to loan it out to somebody who needed the cable. So I don't have the second monitor at the moment, which is kind of the reason I haven't been streaming. You know, which don't excuse, I can still Chromecast or whatever. But yeah, so that just a preface because you're going to see my OBS pop up, and I didn't want I didn't want you guys to be like, "Whoa, why is it here?" This isn't a mistake. It's on the main page because I don't have the second monitor right now. Anyway, that's it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, do the usual: like, subscribe, check out my streams, check out Hypertrain Digital. Those guys are great. And I will see you guys in the next video. Reaper the Ranger, signing off.